that because there's something important about your affirmation. So I was going to say this to all the ladies out there. I'm going to speak on behalf of men. It is very important. It's very important for the person that we love or the person that we really, really like to hear affirmations about how we look and how that look makes you feel.
3, 2, 1.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We thank you for tuning in whatever time you are watching this episode, that you are joining us for our conversation about the style that keeps us together, how our style keeps the cords of love strengthened and opens the lines of communication, and just how me and Carlene feed off of each other and just her impeccable style, I have to admit. So thank you for rocking with us. And you already know we always ask you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button, whatever it may be. Just slap it, just hit it. I don't know what you got to do. Do something. Just make sure that you hit the like button. And then also I wanted to let you know that you can listen to us while you're cruising in your car. We are on Spotify and we are on Apple Podcasts. And also look out for the Facebook group that we just started for couples, those that are in relationships, and we got free resources for you to download. So once again, thank you for rocking with us, and let's get to the episode. Carlene, how you doing?
I am doing great. For the first time in a very long time, it feels like I'm not sounding very,
Groggy, raspy.
Groggy.
Yeah.
I'm not raspy. I'm not speaking raspy. So I'm really happy about that, excited about that. But I'm excited for this series that we've been doing over the past 3 episodes. I think this is our 3rd installation.
Right.
About style and soul. Like we brought for the first week, we brought just how we started, right? From our upbringing, what we were taught and how that carries over even into our children and instilling in them those very same standards that we had when we were younger. And just last week's conversation with Caitlin, that was super dope. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah. And
looking forward to having her on and Amber on, because I feel like it's so cool to hear them speak. Sometimes, we're accustomed to always hearing them, but it's really nice to hear them speak outside of us.
Yeah.
Outside of our space.
Yeah. And then also shout out to Fashion Talk Tuesday.
Yes.
That was dope. Yesterday we were able to go live with these dope sisters that are killing it in the style world on Instagram. And so you can catch them at Fashion Talk Tuesday. I'll probably put a link I'll put a link to their IG so that you could check them out and check out the conversation that we had with them.
Yes. So let's go ahead and get right into the conversation. So the question that basically what we're going to base this conversation on is, can what you wear actually make your relationship closer or relationship better?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a question I have for you guys too. Like, do you feel as though that your relationship not your relationship, does what you wear actually make your relationship better? So let's go ahead and dive in a little bit while hopefully you that are watching are thinking about it and probably go a little further in commenting even now in the and being a part of the conversation. But what are your thoughts? Like, do you feel like what you wear, what I wear, does that make our relationship better?
I think it adds a component to our relationship. I think it adds a wonderful dynamic, being that because both of us like clothes and both of us like style. We appreciate clothes. I say that. We appreciate clothes and we appreciate style. And like, I'm really appreciating what you're wearing tonight. Like, that's a really dope outfit.
Thank you.
So yeah, so things like that I believe that it does add a better element dynamic to our relationship.
Yes, I have to definitely touch and agree with what you just said.
Okay, touch and agree.
Touch and agree. Let me go ahead and touch.
Church. You're going church on us tonight. All right.
I definitely agree that it does make the relationship better, but I think it only makes the relationship better because this is something that has been with us since the beginning of our relationship.
Right.
So let's go ahead and take a flashback, a throwback into how we started. Like, we came on here a few weeks ago and talked about how Jamie and I became Jamie and Carlene. And so, I remember when we first started talking, like we first started seeing each other, that your style was something that I admired, something that I was just like, okay, he knows how to put an outfit together. He knows how to dress well from head to toe, right? And so that's something that mattered to me. And because it mattered to me, I feel as though it has carried our relationship as it relates to style seamlessly, because we're very much interested in style and fashion and just having a look, right?
Right. Yeah. Same thing, vice versa. When I met you, when I saw you at the Gap at the front of the store, you had on like these gray flannel
Wow, you remember?
cargo pants and red Air Max. They were the Air Max 95s, but they had the red color in it, and you had a red sweater on. So you had the red and gray motif going on. And then I was like, man, this girl's pretty. She's of the same faith that I'm in, and she's also dresses nicely.
Well, let's pause for a little bit, because I did not know that you remembered the exact same. I don't even remember what I wore or what I was wearing.
Yeah, I vividly remember it. It was like gray flannel, like cargo pants. And you had on the Air Max 95s. Okay. I don't know if you remember having those sneakers.
I do remember having those sneakers.
Yeah.
But I don't remember at all, not even a little bit, what I wore when we first met. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it just shows like I can remember clothes. Okay. I can remember what a person has on. And I can almost to detail, I can still like, it's funny, I don't remember what I wear, but I can remember what somebody else had on. So yeah, that was one of the things that attracted me to you. And I find it strange if there are people that aren't attracted to someone by what they have on. Like can it truly be like I'm attracted to that person just by their characteristics or their face? I feel like
I think so. I think we would have to leave room for people to find whatever it is that they like about that person.
Yeah, I guess for us, because we like style, we like clothes. It's an important factor.
It's something that's important to us, but it may not be important to someone else.
Yeah,
right.
To each his own.
To each his own. But I love how our personal style became our a part of our love story, right? Like, it wasn't just, he was a spiritual person. It wasn't that he was cute. It wasn't any of those things, right? Not that it wasn't just those things. It was your personal style that also made me very much interested in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just love how our personal style is wrapped up in our love story.
It absolutely is. And it'll always be there.
And it'll always be there. And I love how it continues to keep our love story going.
Right. Absolutely. It's something nice to see you dress and to see you put your outfit together, even though sometimes it can be frustrating for me because like Carlene has this thing that if we're going to church or if we're going anywhere, she cannot take her clothes out the night before.
No.
She has to take it out the morning of. Yeah. Me, I'm always like processing what I'm going to wear. Even while I'm sleeping, I'm thinking about, okay, I can wear this and wear that. I process it through the night. You have to do it in the morning. And so, sometimes it's made us late on a few occasions, but it's still, the outcome is always beautiful. And it's always nice to see that you are still very much intentional about what you wear. Because I know for guys sometimes, at least for me, well, no, I don't think for me, but sometimes when we get married or when we get we get serious, we start like, yo, I don't got to dress up no more.
You
I
stop.
don't got to, you stop doing what you were doing. You stop doing the thing that attracted that person to you because you get comfortable.
And that's a no, right? That's a no. And I remember where you would fall into peaks or not peaks, that you would literally like fall into ebbs of you just did not want to, you didn't seem as though you cared as much at the same rate like as though you cared when we first started dating,
Right.
or even like throughout the relationship.
Right. And I think when I would fall into those pits of not taking what I wear seriously, either I just didn't like my wardrobe anymore, or the pieces I had, it got boring, or maybe I was just mentally just kind of going through something where I'm like, forget this. I don't want to dress up, or I may have been comparing myself to somebody else and just looking at how they were doing it and looking at my stuff. And I'm just like, yo, I need to step my game up. So let me just look regular.
Yeah, yeah. But what I love about you is that when I share with you, this is a part of our personal style and how it affects our emotions, how it affects how we interact with each other. Like, one of the things that I love about you is that, like, when I'll give, first it'll start off very subtle hints about like, okay, you really gonna wear that today? Or you for sure would be like, okay, you'll get the memo, and then you'll get the drift or the whatever it is that I'm sharing with you or sending, and you would change. Like, you would start to like really become very much interested in dressing and styling and putting yourself together in a way that's just not you. I don't feel like it's you. I don't feel like when you fell into those moments, like I didn't feel like that was you, because I know that even if it's simple, that you are intentional about putting your pieces together. Like you just said, like you're up the night before thinking about how you're going to put different pieces together. So I know that it's a part of your makeup. It's just, I just love the fact that anytime I give a little nudge, you'd be like, all right, let me go ahead and step this.
Are you talking about for this episode?
Absolutely not. I'm talking about like, this is maybe about 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You did. Because I'm be a little transparent tonight. What I had on before is not what I have on now. And Carlene did a little nudge, and I went upstairs and switched it up. But let me tell you why I would do that. I would do that because there's something important about your affirmation. So I was going to say this to all the ladies out there. I'm going to speak on behalf of men. It is very important. It's very important for the person that we love, or the person that we really, really like, to hear affirmations about how we look and how that look makes you feel. So to make you happy, and it's not just making you happy, but it also makes me happy as well. But to know that you like the way I look, like I look attractive, that is like golden to men. And I'm sure because men like affirmation. We like to hear when our spouse tells us you look fine, you look good. We like affirmation in all areas or all parts of the relationship to, to make us feel better. Because sometimes I know for me, I can really play in my head like, man, I'm not killing it. I don't got nothing going on. So that affirmation and that approval says a lot.
Yes. And I think it's the same for females too. I think it's important to hear that, when you affirm me and say, man, you look real good, man, like you say, you'll say, I was about to say like how you say it sometimes, but maybe I don't need to share all that. But when you do say like, hey, like, yo, you killing it or whatever, that affirmation definitely does make a difference in how I step out or how I walk or the outfits that I put together, for sure.
Yeah.
So I think it's a mutual thing. Being able to affirm your significant other with words or whatever, look, a certain look to affirm that, yeah, you got it going on. But again, going back to what we were talking about with regards to, you know, how personal style is truly a part of our love story, truly a part of our relationship. I think that I too went through moments in our marriage where I didn't feel like dressing, or I didn't feel like my style was matching where I was personally.
So yeah. Go ahead.
So, like, for example, I remember that change happened when I gave birth. Right, when my body changed, that's when I didn't feel like dressing, because I felt like nothing fit me the way that it used to fit me pre-pregnancy, pre-children. Right, and so I think that has an effect. It's not spoken of a lot, or maybe it is, and I just was not aware, but it's not spoken a lot about how your personal style can change based on circumstances, based on life changes. Different things will allow your style to change, right? You think about gaining weight, the clothes that are sitting in the closet nice and pretty, you know, no longer are able to fit you. And then you're trying to figure out, like, were those clothes that I am no longer able to wear, was that my identity, right? And then some parts of me said yes, right? I identified with a lot of those pieces in my closet, but they can no longer fit me. So now I have to go and think about, you know, reimagining my closet, going and buying new things to try to fit the body, but just like still in that, I'm not sure if I should go and buy something new because I don't expect to be this size forever. So it's just one of those things that just kind of, you know, plays on, you know, personal style. And I don't know. I don't know if, I know going through those motions with you when I, after being pregnant and even after experiencing different life changes, I definitely know in those moments I depended so much on you to affirm me and to hear you actually say, like, yo, you look good, even though I know I didn't feel good.
Yeah, yeah. And I think this is a good point for anybody listening. I think the point we're making is, how do you pay attention to your spouse through their clothes, right? Or through their actions? Because, yeah, as you brought up, you know, I knew that your body had changed. I know that in your brain, you were thinking about, you were once this size, and then after the birth of Caitlin, you became a different size. And even while with Caitlin, you were a different size, and that can play on your mind. So I felt that it was my duty to continue to affirm you, even though I'll say this: you were beautiful all through the pregnancy. You know, I think pregnancy is a beautiful thing. I didn't see you in any way, shape, or form as like oh my gosh, or whatever. I just thought the way your body was changing was beautiful, because my first child is inside of you.
Yes.
But I knew that how I see you may not have been how you saw yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was important for me to continue to affirm you, to tell you, you know, you're beautiful. I love you. You look great. You look wonderful. And let you kind of, you know, let you decide how you wanted your body to form back to what it was before. Not, and when I'm saying that, I say that to say, not to be like, man, I hope, you know, after you have Caitlin, you know, you start hitting the gym and start losing weight. If you wanted to keep the weight that you put on, whatever made you feel good, then I was going to be there to support you. But it's important that, you know, in relationships, that looking at the way your partner is dressing, looking at the way your partner is moving can be a deeper sign of something that's going on mentally with that person. And last point is that those things can really help you keep the lines of communication open, because we were talking all through the pregnancy and you were communicating even when you weren't saying how you were feeling, by just like how you were disappointed that you couldn't fit into some of the clothes that you had before and things of that nature. So yeah.
Yeah. So, I think for, a woman who's watching, a lady, woman, a female, there it is. That's the word I wanted to use, a female that's watching, or even a male, but mostly the females, where our bodies literally go through so many different changes. You talk about pregnancy, or you talk about hormones, and so many different things that are happening, that happens to our bodies. And sometimes personal style is affected because of that. And you're really trying to find your way back to what it is that felt good. I'm here to let you know that there is hope on the other side of that. I think the hope comes into accepting, right? That acceptance of, this is where I am now. It's not my forever. I can sit and wallow, and I could like cry myself a river, or not, or after I do that, because I did a whole lot of that, right? It's, you just have that moment of whatever it is you're shedding. What is it? You're emotionally shedding, the thoughts of the emotions of your reality right now. And it does not quite make sense to you. Like, wait a minute, what is happening? But I want you to know that there is hope on the other side of, feeling all those emotions, feeling all of the uncertainties, or even not even uncertainties, like the not sure about yourself, not sure whether or not you are beautiful. And I remember even when you used to affirm me, I always used to be like, you just saying that because you're my husband, right? Like, do you really mean that? Because I know what I'm seeing in the mirror, and I know that what I'm seeing is not beautiful to me. And because it's not beautiful to me, that means it's not beautiful to you. And that was something that I had to change. I needed to change my perspective to know that because you love me so much, I need to trust the fact that when you say that I'm beautiful, that you love me with all my curves, right? That you're not lying, you're not trying to appease me, but you truly believe that. And so that's something else that I had to lean into, trusting Jamie's words and being able to believe that, yeah, this is not my forever. Wait, I'm hoping that one day I'll be able to get back to that size. But in the moment, that's something that I had to accept in this moment. I'm not the size that I wish I was or I want to be, but I'm no longer going to deny myself for me, because I love fashion and clothes, I'm not going to deny myself the feeling that I get when I put on something that makes me feel good about myself, right? I'm not depending on the clothes to make me feel good per se, but I know that it's something that I enjoy doing. And so I always say, like, right now, the size is the size, and I'm just not going to wallow and choose not to be happy because the size is not what I want right now.
Yeah, and you brought up a good point, and I want to re-emphasize that it is important for you to believe your spouse. Like, if that person truly loves you and that person truly cares about you, and I believe that they're not going to say something to hurt you or to lie to you. And I think that's vice versa for me too. Like, I have to believe you when you tell me you are handsome, you look good, you are smart, you are this, these different things, because we all go through different seasons and emotions. Even I think even men go through things with their body as well. Like I think the other day we were talking, I was like, man, is every male on TV, on Instagram with a 6-pack and chiseled and big muscles, right? There are some guys that have a little gut, little tummy and things like that. And, you see all these brothers in the gym throwing weights and it can make you feel insecure. But even in that insecurity, it's wonderful to know and to believe the person that you love loves you, and to listen and to believe their words. And they're not just saying it just to say it, but that we both had to get to a place where we had to believe each other and trust each other and to get through whatever we were going through together.
Yes, yes. It still is, right? Something that's super important in hearing you affirm me and, in hearing me affirm you, especially in those moments where you're not feeling your best.
Right.
Right? You're feeling kind of like, do I really still got it?
Right.
And so I think that's something that's really important in relationship and in terms of personal style and all the things.
Absolutely.
And so we're actually kind of wrapping up we're going to keep this episode to very, very succinct in our conversation about how does personal style, does it make the relationship better or does it make it worse? And for us, we just answered essentially that personal style, it makes our relationship better.
Right.
It actually points out a lot of the things that may not have come up in otherwise, comes up in when we get dressed. And if I know that Jamie is dressed a certain way consistently, I'll be like, okay, he's in a funk. That's like a indication that something's off. If he sees me kind of dressing like, in the same old things, that's an indication that something is off with me.
Right.
So we use our personal style as almost like a, what is it called?
Like a gauge.
Like a gauge. That's a good word.
Yeah. I do have a question as we're wrapping up. And this question is, what if you want your spouse to start dressing a little bit nicer? Like, how do you break that ice with them? Like, how do you tell them, like, I want you to step it up a little bit, not compare them to somebody else, but like, how do you tell me that, how do you nudge me to tell me, just to like, because there may be somebody watching and they're probably saying like, yo, I would like it if my spouse spices it up a little bit more. How would you nudge?
How I nudge you essentially is just letting you know, like, point blank. Period.
You straightforward
like
with
straight
it.
shoot up. Like, I'm a
Right.
tell you straight. Like, I'm not going to beat around the bush, but I think it's because of our relationship dynamic.
Yeah.
I can be a straight shooter to you. I don't know anyone else's relationships and their dynamics and how that works. But however it works for you, I think it's something that you should, and it's important to you. I definitely think it's something that you should share. However you feel comfortable sharing. For me, I'll basically be like, yo,
Shit.
like today, like just now, like he had on something that was kind of like, what's happening? And so I basically told Jamie, I was like,
She said, you don't even look like you tried. So I was like, all right, I got my act together.
he got his act together, right? I was like, yo, he doesn't even look like you tried. And so he understood exactly what I meant by that.
Yeah.
And so
because it's coming from a place of love.
it's coming from a place of love. I'm not trying to
dissing me.
I'm not dissing you. I'm not trying to belittle you. I'm not trying to make you feel less than. I'm basically letting you know, go on ahead and come up a little higher. The way that I know that you know how to come up a little higher, a lot higher, because Jamie's style is like impeccable. Like, he's always fresh to death. And it's almost like you see your spouse operating beneath their potential, right? That's how I see it. Like when I see that you're operating beneath your potential, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to be like, yo, let's go ahead and the Lord has not given you the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. The Lord has given you strength, right?
Scriptures.
Given you strength. And so I feel as though that to answer your question essentially is, if it's important to you and if your spouse truly loves and values you, then they should be able to hear whatever it is that you're trying to share with them and try their best to see how they can, listen or attend to whatever it is that your ask is. But I also think that it should be something that's fun, not daunting.
Yeah.
Sometimes some people's strengths are, some people just they're just better at putting outfits together.
Right.
So instead of him trying to figure it out, how about you be like, hey, how about I buy you this, or you wear this, or suggest like, okay, these are some things that I would love to see you in. Let's go ahead and go to the store and try it out. We know that does not work with us.
Right.
In that Jamie's on the next level. I can't even go shopping with him.
No. We're going to talk about that. That's a whole different episode.
Bruh.
And we're going to really break that down.
Jamie.
About my level and your level and style.
Come back next episode,
Come
y'all.
back
We
next
got y'all.
episode. But I do want to say this too, right? Everything that Carlene said, and I said, like, if there's anybody that wants to pick up their style, or maybe you're a spouse and your significant other, you want to break the news to them, like Carlene said, be honest with them, and then go on Instagram and Pinterest and look at how other people are dressing and try to match and mirror that.
Or be inspired.
Be inspired. That's what I mean. Be inspired by that, and you'll see where it can go from there. But I think at the core of this episode and what we're saying is that communication makes every relationship better.
Mm-hmm.
Honest, open, transparent communication.
Naked and unashamed.
Makes everything better.
Mm-hmm.
And so whether it's with style, whether it's with hygiene, or whether it's with work or whatever, open, honest communication is the strength of any relationship.
Yes. And yes. So, man, so much more to say, but that means that you're going to have to come back next episode as we extend this conversation a little bit more and dive into really looking at how Jamie's fashion sense, how he approaches shopping. What does that look like for him? What does that look like for me? I could tell you right now, I'm probably not going to be talking as much because Jamie is, this is his thing, right? And so I'm looking forward to hearing you speak about all the things related to how you shop, maybe some places that you shop, and how does that even affect our relationship? Oh, that's good. But y'all, you're gonna have to come back to the next episode to hear all of those things. But again, thank you guys for rocking with us. If you have not done this as yet, go ahead to please go ahead and subscribe, like, share, and go ahead and comment. We love to read the comments that you all leave, and we're just looking forward to being in this authentic space with you all. We hope to see you next week. This is your girl, Carlene.
And this is your boy, Jamie.
Peace.